Disappointingly, it's just Jon Gilchrist, I'm afraid, but
I'll try
and do the job of two people. Yeah, Home is a cinema, gallery and arts centre in Manchester. And for context, before the pandemic, we had around 900,000 people through the door to around 7,000 events. And an economic impact study showed that we had a gross value added to the city of around 26 million. And obviously, like everyone across the city, our trading was decimated, reduced around 20% of pre-pandemic levels. And because we're in Manchester, we were impacted by a lot of significant closure. And that included opening for only around 61 days during the last financial year. But one of the things that was noted before the pandemic in our economic impact study is that through the work we do, there was around £1 million worth of savings to the NHS as a result of what we've done. Obviously, that is around referrals to GPs, referrals to specialists, and that's all about how theatre, arts, culture can provide joy, hope, and sense of community. We really want to focus down on what that can mean. This isn't a case, obviously, replicating provision or changing provision, but how theatres and arts centres can actually support the NHS to provide savings and provide additional value that's not just about gross value added. UK Theatre did the same research, and that showed £102 million saving across a year as well. And what Manchester does hopefully reasonably well is partnership. We aim to work across partnership, and it was very much about how culture could drive the recovery from the pandemic, and that very much fed into the city's recovery strategy. And that was a lot of cultural leaders working closely together. 4 examples of that are the GM Artists Hub, and that was about how we could support the freelance ecology of the city, who were probably the most immediately affected. In theatre, around 70% of the workforce is freelance, and especially artists had nowhere to go. And that actually led to things like the City Council helping freelance artists fill in CRF applications. But one of the other things it led to is working with the City Council. Home did the Cultural Hardship Fund, which was funded by the B&M Foundation and the Savannah Wisdom Foundation, which was for all the freelancers who fell through the gaps. And what we know is that the interventions from the government were welcome, but there are a lot of people within the theatre sector who weren't really supported as well. So the City Council was able to actually lever money through these foundations to support that and deliver it. The third one is the MSEP. So this is the Manchester Cultural Education Partnership. And this was how about a group of people from education, youth, culture and business can actually work together to provide educational activities for young people who have actually been almost cut adrift by the fact that they can't access arts and culture in the same way. And again, one of the things that the CRF funds did is that actually unlocked additional funding. So we were able to work together. Each organisation applied for small amounts of CRF funds, which specifically supported the MSEP. And the final one is the Joint Audiences Project. So it's quite a big project. If anyone comes into Manchester, and I encourage you to do so, all of the Piccadilly station is full of advertising about culture. We've got trams, we've got posters all around the city, and it's been one of the most successful campaigns that Marketing Manchester have ever experienced. And that came through each individual organisation saying, what we want to do is we want to encourage people to remember those experiences of what culture was, but also to try and build back better. Social division has increased as a result of the pandemic, and we have to accept that in many ways our cultural institutions are closed off to a lot of people. So this money, 250,000 of CRF money, is levered a further £250,000, and we've started an entire network of grassroots champions in the boroughs, which is about how we get people who weren't necessarily attending before coming back. And that is as important as getting the people who were coming previously. But I'd also like to briefly talk about Home Ground, which is a project we're working on at the moment. We have, in a space adjacent to Home, set up basically a 3-stage theatre project, which is 80,000 square feet, and it's going to run all summer. And that was, again, the catalyst to that was £200,000 of CRF money. But as a result, it's around £1.3 million of investment that we've got. That includes Ask Real Estate, who gave us the site for free, the City Council, who've put in around £100,000 for artists and creatives, B&M Foundation, who have made sure that it's only £10 tickets for adults, £5 for children. And it's basically a partnership with people across the city. So while we had A Midsummer Night's Dream performed by an amazing cast, including the current Hamilton on one stage. We've got Wright Robinson College on the other performing. And it's that collaboration that I think is important. Again, all catalyzed by that money. So I think into the future, what Manchester's looking at is, it's always said that it will support culture. I mean, this is from the leader, and I'm aware of how lucky we are to have a city council which has the capacity and the commitment to invest in culture as heavily as they can. But it's the economic impact, the social impact, and the placemaking impact. And I think despite the fact that they have significant cuts, we're very lucky the city council have not cut culture, and we're aware of that, but that's the commitment to it. But for our part, we want to do more to show that the health benefits of arts and culture, without being pious and suggesting that this is in any way a replacement to provision. We can do more to support in that area as well. So I would say that the CRF funds have been great, but if that falls off a cliff now, all this hard work is going to be for nothing. And we have proven in Manchester, as people have across the country, that that can be a catalyst to further funding, and we can work really, really hard to build on that. But we need that continued support over this next transition period. Thank you.